G'day, guys, and welcome back to Alien Earth. This is episode 5. Previously on, um, we experimented on a sheep. We've learned sort of how to communicate with the xenomorph. Um, she can click it, um, and then we can hear it, I guess. Like, she can translate. I don't know if she knows what she's saying. Um, I think she does, but we don't know what the hell they're saying. So it's an interesting little thing there. Mm, we learned that 5 big corporations kind of took over the earth after like the 5 governments failed or something. So the corporations took over and now they're at war with each other. Um, and we kind of ended the episode with, I guess it's like a baby Xeno. It's like a snake in like snake form, which I don't know if we've seen before. It's just one of those things where it grew out of a single lung, and maybe it needs to feed to get bigger, to be actual xenomorph size. Um, I don't know. There's many questions about xenobiology that we don't know. Hopefully, we're gonna get some answers this episode. I do have one question, and I'm curious if anybody thinks the same, and that is, did they find all of these alien species, the eyeball squid, the plant thing, the leech, tick, spider thing, whatever you want to call it, did they find them all on the same moon? Because they mentioned, I can't remember whether it was episode 1 or 2, but they did mention previously that um, they went to a distant moon and picked up the eggs. But they also have all these other alien species, and I'm very curious if they all are from the same planet, it would mean that like the xenomorphs evolved to become the predator of that planet. When you really think about it, like the squid eyeball thing, it goes in through the eye at the very least. It needs to attach to like the brain so it can take over the body and become its host. Um, and it seems to go in through the eye. I'm assuming like it's got little teeth around the base of the eyeball, which helps it dig in. I'm assuming it might be able to go in someplace else, but it needs to attach to the brain. But like the xenomorphs don't have eye sockets, and they've got like a hard, I guess it's like a hard exoskeleton kind of deal. Um, I think the theory is that it's like its eyes are covered by its skin. um, but it makes it harder for the eyeball to burrow into a xenomorph's brain, and plus, like, xenom blood is acidic anyway, so it's probably not a good idea to do so. But when you think about like the blood leech thing, it literally sucks the blood, like all of the liquid, like all of the blood out of the person it's latched on, out of the person or being or animal that it's latched onto, and just doesn't stop until that big old like red tumor like thing is on its body, and then it just kind of lives off of that. But it can't do that to a xenomorph because Xeno's blood is acidic. So if it tried, it would die. So it seems like a natural defense. It seems to have evolved to have all these natural defenses against all these other animals and creatures on the planet it's from. I don't know about the plant thing, but that's maybe where like the mouth inside of the mouth comes in. I don't know. It's like even if it gets captured or sucked up into one of these things, it can just kind of open its mouth and this thing will pop out and kill the plant thing. And we still haven't seen the other um, species that it's taken out either. So that we've captured, they're still in the cages, and we haven't seen any experiments on those yet. They've just been experimenting on the ones that we've seen. So there's something there, but it makes me wonder if they picked up all of these species, and do we think all these species were all taken from the same moon that they got the xenomorph eggs from? Because it just seems like the xenomorph has evolved to become the predator to all of these things and has natural defenses against everything that we've seen so far. So I'm very curious about that answer. If anybody actually knows, maybe we might get an answer in the coming episodes. Who knows? But I'm very curious about what your thoughts and theories are. Put them in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. Now, before we get to this episode, though, I just want to remind everyone that my Patreon is now live and you can get full-length reactions to this episode, every previous episode, every future episode, to every TV show that I'm currently doing, which includes like Wednesday, Season 2. It includes Camp Cretaceous. It includes Twisted Metal. It will include shows like Sausage Party Foodtopia, Squid Game Season 3, Futurama's coming back, and then in a couple of months' time, we've got like Stranger Things, the final season, so that's all coming. But yeah, full length reactions, it's $5 a month. I do appreciate all the love and support that y'all can give me. Now that that's business out of the way, let's get to our baby xenomorph, shall we? And let's see what happens next. Hmm. So, two face huggers. So there were two xenomorphs? Acid blood. So, if that face hug is dead, does that mean that Xeno won't be born? Or did it already? It would have already been inside, but if the host is dead. Okay. So, do they succeed in putting him out into space? Because we know what happens in the cryo room. Smart man. Smart man. Yeah. You that's why they crash? I'm assuming he dies before he does. He was told like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, so he can take over and do what he fucking wants. It's always the case, isn't it? Gotta have a chair that goes sideways. That's cool. Something sparked up. Caused a short. Tank comes in running. Containment breach. That thing comes in. Captain. Is that the captain? Hmm. Why are these systems always connected to one another, you know? So whatever caused that short caused two of the cages to open. It just happened to be the face huggers. Like, it's got to be Tang. Because where's he? I think Tang opened the containers. It has to be him. There's a shadow. The only other person in that room is Tang. So did he cause the short and then took advantage? Because he came in running with the. I thought he came in running with the fire extinguisher. Oh, that's not. I thought Tang went running in, but it was just those two. I'm confused. I did it to myself. Okay, two of them went in, and the third person was in the room doing something, and we don't recognize that person. Is he? Or is he just pointing to a random star? That's what I'd do. Still 19 died in a fire that destroyed her home. God damn. Her effects have been placed in storage for you on your return in 53 years. Holy shit. So how was she in that flashback? Should have at least been 12, maybe. There we go. What was that about? I mean, it is locked up properly, isn't it? Wow. Okay, that's how these things got out. And I just watched it do it, so it's going to do the same thing. Damn. These things are smart. I hate how it can control all of its pupils. Mimic. A distraction. Okay, now it can't get out. It injected little tadpoles into the water that she's about to drink. But at least I know what a xenomorph is. I think it's that kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can see him swimming around. They're getting bigger. Yeah. Did he? Okay, so it wasn't Shibuzo. And they're literally sucking him off from the inside. Getting bigger. How many did he swallow? Jesus. Directly to Cavalier, huh? Wow. Speaking with Prodigy, the chief engineer. Not to an adult, yeah. Nothing you can do while you're on board a ship, my guy. Yeah. They're growing. You have to burn them. Oh, that does not look good. Fucked. What did they breathe in? Yeah. I mean, we're safe from the eyeball. Are we? I don't think it leaves that room. Okay, so maybe it was. Okay, so he was the one we saw that had his blood sucked out. Jesus, that was a shot. He was in cover. Come on, eyeball. Or Morrow. The greedy son bitch is dead. Again with the soil. Is this still Utah? Pull yourself together. It's big. Yep, that's what it does. Never pay attention to the tail. I mean, there's the whole fear thing, isn't it? I mean, this isn't a Harry Potter basilisk situation. Is Shmuel dead? Has it taken Shmuel? It does take over a human host, like completely. It's so creepy. Well, okay. He's like, alright, she's already dead. Fuck it. Can it... It can speak? Can it speak? Nah. It's calling the xenomorph. So it can't use a human voice, but it knows how to communicate with a xeno. Or not. But it is a natural... It's an enemy to the xeno. Okay, it screamed like a human. You gotta take it through the eyeball, my boy. Guess that doesn't happen. No? Is it trying to latch on? Okay, now we're catching up to where we were. Yep, it gave up. He's just like, fuck this ship. And fuck you. This is now, I'm guessing. It's a weird samurai kind of Praetorian guard looking.
My grandmother was very fond of you, you know.
I'm grateful. She had no reason to take me in. A feral boy with a palsied arm begging in the street.
She always said you were the fiercest thing she had ever seen.
I told her I'd bring the specimens home, and I will. And then I'll kill the one called Cavalier.
He agreed to arbitration. We meet tomorrow.
Kill him then.
Maybe the lawyers can fix this.
Unless lawyers mean soldiers, we're gonna have to do this my way.
Whatever he wants, he gets.
I originally thought the eyeball was like calling the xenomorph, but it made some kind of clicking noises. The xenomorph came in, and then using what's his name's body, tried to like bite its neck, like tried to kill it. So they must all be from the same planet, and they must just be natural kind of enemies. Which answers my question from the beginning of this video. And even then, like it tried to latch on to where it thinks the xenomorph's eyeball is. Like it was hanging on to that one spot on the side there. And then the Xeno lost his fucking mind and tried to get it off, and then it kind of gave, the eyeball kind of gave up, and then Xeno went fucking ballistic and killed Zavari. And then when the ship crashed, it went on a mad killing spree because it was just angry. At least we learned what happened on the ship. I didn't think we'd get like a full episode dedicated to that, but it was cool. It was just everything. Human error and sabotage is what happened. That doctor lady getting distracted, and not securing the glass containment thing properly, which led to the eyeball getting out. And I mean, the ticks doing what ticks do, I guess. I mean, nothing surprising there. The only thing we didn't see, aside from like the clam thing that they mentioned, unless that's the plant, we didn't see that in action. The only time we see, there's two of them. I think one might still be in containment, but the one that was on the ship, I'm assuming it has the ability to move itself, because everyone else on that ship is literally dead. And then it's the first time we kind of see it, it's hanging in the middle of the ship corridor. So I'm assuming it moved himself. We also got my question answered of if there was more than one xenomorph. There was going to be two, but they managed to kill one. Technically, I guess. They cut off its tail, made an incision, the acid spilled out, killed the captain, and then I'm assuming that means that the embryo can't grow because it's not live tissue or live organic matter. I mean, regardless, they still shot him out into space, so it probably won't last long anyway. And then we got another question answered about whether or not face huggers slash embryo slash xenomorph can actually be affected by cryostasis. The answer to that is no. That was a question I had. I was like, how did it actually escape the cryopod? Did it happen after? But like, the glass on the pod was smashed, so it happened during. That's the one thing when it comes to like cryostasis and the way that other sci-fi shows have kind of explained it in the past is that the the way they do it is that it's tailored to more human physiology, so that it freezes us and it'll freeze other animals and stuff like that because of how closely related we are. But I guess it doesn't affect xenomorphs and that because of that. Well, they said it was the metabolism, so I'm assuming that's how it works. But it's like metabolism plus physiology maybe, and I'm curious if cryostasis would work on like the eyeball or the ticks. I don't know. It's not really an important question. I'm just curiosity, you know? I don't think we'll ever find out. It's just one of those things. We got nothing this episode about what's going on the island at this point. We just finished the episode off by saying he's getting the specimens back and he's gonna kill Boy Cavalier. And that might be at tomorrow's meeting that they have, but he also had a plan of getting someone in front of one of the eggs to hatch, but one's already hatched. So unless they're still gonna get like another one to hatch, not really necessary anymore. Admittedly, I was looking forward to seeing the, I guess you could call it aftermath of the egg hatching, but the flashback episode was nice too. I still have no idea if Tang was synth or human. Didn't quite react to a xenomorph the way since we've seen in the past, would react to one. He did scream, and then he kind of died off screen. And that's probably why they did it, because we're still left with the question of, well, is he human or not? Either way, he was creepy as hell. He had a thing for that woman. Whoever that woman was, I forget her name. But very, very weird. Very creepy. And somehow Petrovich knew that Prodigy is able to transfer a person's mind into a different body. And I thought that was like secret research. So I'm not sure how Petrovich knew. Maybe someone inside Prodigy told him that that was a possible reward for what he's doing, right? That has to be the only way. Because like, how did he end up working for Prodigy in the first place, or cutting a deal with Prodigy? So was he told about that was happening, and then that's how he came up with the idea? Like that's what he wanted as a reward? Because yeah, like I said, it's supposed to be secret research on a secret island that no one's supposed to know about. But Petrovich seemed to know, so I'm curious about that one. Hopefully we might get a little more on that, but we got some backstory on Morrow as well, and his daughter. He's mentioned previously that he had one. I thought she would be, I think he mentioned that she would be, did they mention how old she would have been? Because I know like they mentioned 65 years, but that's how long they've been in space for. But he left when she was at least like 8 or 9, maybe. What is math? Hold on. When they crashed, it had been 65 years. And then, if I'm remembering correctly, when he was reading the letter and however old that letter was, it was at least, they said her stuff had been moved into storage until his return in 53 years. So they were at least how old was she when she died? I think it was 19, right? Did I write that down? Yeah, she was dead at 19. So she looked a little older than like 7 years old, if my math is correct, which it probably isn't. Yeah, it had been about 12 years between that letter and him reading it, I think. And if she died at 19, she had to have been about 7. She looked a little older than that. I thought she was at least 10 to 12. But either way, Estelle dead in a fire, suspiciously, at 19. Something happened. It's unfortunate for Mara, but what can you do? Nothing really to talk about in this episode. No big secrets revealed other than like Petrovich and what happened there. So that's it for this episode, guys. You have to join me next week for what is this, episode 6? But in the meantime, as usual, if you all enjoy this reaction and want to see more, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, join me next time. And I'll see you there. Bye, guys.